Give it a few. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Arknolia and the Doctor with myself, Arknolia Strokebean, and the great YR, I should say there.
Hello.
Hello
Hey,
there, everybody.
Kansas tonight, huh?
The band
Yeah.
Kansas, correct. That's right. So I saw YR. First things first, YR. You heard that I called on Sean's View last night there, late night there.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I didn't. You did good. You did better than Prince. He totally sold out.
Wow.
Prince over there, but you did good. You know what I'm saying? No one has issues with anyone calling Sean or whatever. It's just like him not, obviously using the sub only mode and all that. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
yeah. I know. I understand there. I know, that's the only. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about COVID. We talked about politics. We talked about this and that there. We talked about the four Prince Donatello leaving YouTube there, which I made a video about there, wishing him the very best. It's sad that he couldn't be with us, but
Right.
you got to respect his wishes. He has a family starting. He has a wife, a daughter that's on the way. He wants
That's
to help
true.
his mother out. So,
Yeah.
and the last thing you want to do when you're starting a family is bring some sort of drama from this community into his personal community. So that's understandable.
Yeah.
Absolutely there. And believe me, some of this drama ain't for the meek or ain't for the faint-hearted. That's for sure there.
True.
Yeah, I'm kind of sorry to see him go. He was a good guy.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
very good. I mean, I remember him and Carlos Cabral, who's going to be joining us later on. He mentioned that possibly doing some sort of a wrestling review program there. But the thing is, I mentioned to those guys that I don't really watch wrestling, period, because of my work schedule and my dissatisfaction with Monday Night Raw included.
Yeah, I quit watching about 2 years ago now, I think.
Yeah. Now, I quit watching a long couple of years back, actually. I think it was in 2018 because a lot of times I would tune in. It's like the promos and the storylines were similar to the. You remember the cartoon series Super Friends?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like that. I mean, the promo's like, I'm gonna hit you with my clothesline. Not if I stop you with my sidekick. Boom. That's what it's
Well,
becoming to sound like.
I like the AEW. I watch AEW every week. I do
Oh,
watch the
that's
Wednesday show
yeah,
every week.
that's
I
good.
really do. And then sometimes Fridays, it is late, but I do catch myself watching the whole show
All
Friday.
right,
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
I
So I
can.
do watch AEW. I really do. It
All
is
right.
it is worth it. It is worth your time if
All
you
right,
can.
all right, there. What about AEW Dark? I understand that's on their official YouTube channel there.
I don't watch that. I think that's kind of like the 205 live of AEW, like
Oh,
their
okay.
version of 20. You know what I'm saying? It's like because the important stuff's gonna be on TV. You know what
That's
I'm
true there.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Or in the
but if you're a
highlights.
super yeah, if you're a super fan, then they got everyone. They got you covered. Like you can watch wrestling like almost 5 days a week
All
at
right,
this
there.
point. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true there. I know. It's like wrestling everywhere. It's like mostly why I usually watch are the wrestling highlights, whether it's from AEW, WWE, Impact, NWA. You know. So that's pretty much it for the topic there. Now let's get to the
Won't you
main.
cry no more?
That's right. We're discussing this band here, the band Kansas. Formed in, of course, the state of Kansas there, and of course, we
yeah,
don't.
and they were around and released lots of albums before Leftoverture, but
Absolutely, they're
we'll
from.
get to all of that.
Absolutely, we're going to go over their old album. We're going to go throughout their whole albums in general. There, bottom line there,
Yes.
because they released a lot more than just the ones that we know, like Point of No Return, Leftoverture, Monolith. We got to definitely talk about the cover of that album there. That's a pretty interesting one there.
Yeah. Well, like I say, the band started in Kansas, and they did a lot of band jumping, group jumping, member jumping, whatever,
Hmm.
before they settled. Uh, they started out as Kansas in 1970.
Hmm.
They merged with members of another band there in Topeka called White Clover.
Yep.
And after a little while, they changed their name to something called Protocol
Mm.
and actually released some demos, which you can find those if you look hard enough. And they had some of the members of Kansas, but a lot of the people were people we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But then when they finally got around to putting the other people in the group, they started out. Well, when they got their contract signed, they decided, you know what, let's change their name back to Kansas.
Yeah.
So they changed the name back to Kansas,
Yeah.
and became for the most part, the Kansas we know and love.
Absolutely. And for the record, they signed on with the CBS division label that's kind of distributed by CBS Records called Kirshner Records. That was founded by Don Kirshner, who did these musical supervision for the Monkees TV series, and also the man behind the Midnight Special program that aired late nights on the weekends on NBC.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the debut album was in 1974, and this had a lot of tracks on it that were worth listening to.
Oh, yeah.
It started off with Can I Tell You, which is a great little song. And then they did Bringing It Back, which there's a story behind that, and about them bringing stuff back from Mexico.
Ah.
And we'll just kind of leave it at that.
All right, I know what you mean.
And then the next one is something called Lonely Wind, which is a great little song. Another
What year is that on?
It came.
1974.
Yep.
Oh God.
Self-titled. There, you'll recognize the man on the front cover there. It's a painting of a man, white-haired, bearded man there with I guess his arms are out wide and he's shouting something there, and he's got something in his hand, both his hands, if I'm correct there.
Yeah, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is supposed to be, God, what's the guy's name? The abolitionist.
John Brown.
I can't. Yeah, that's him.
John Brown. Yeah.
I think that's who it's supposed to be.
I see there. Yeah.
They also did another song on this album called Journey from Marybron, which is a great little song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's fairly long. 7 minutes.
All right.
But that's the mark of a prog band. You're going to do 7, 9, 10, 12-minute songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was just about to. I was just about to ask you. Would you consider Kansas a progressive rock band?
Absolutely.
As a start
Absolutely.
for a long time, yeah.
Were they like the ones that maybe pioneered it, maybe? Or
No, that
like
that title belongs to bands like Yes, King Crimson, Emerson, and Palmer, because they were started around the 1960s. Yes.
Now, Kansas was the first American prog band.
Mm-hmm. And we also cannot forget the Crazy World of Arthur Brown from the 60s as well, because he was like a more darker progressive rock when you think about it.
Yeah, he was kind of prog before prog was a thing.
Yeah. And the theatrics, when you see his old theatrics, it makes you wonder, wow, did this man influence Marilyn Manson?
Yeah, yeah. There's another song on this album called Death of Mother Nature Suite. It's about 7 minutes long.
Nice.
That's also a really good song to listen to.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, it's a pretty good mark of a prog band is if you got a lot of long songs.
Yep.
Now, they followed this up with Song for America in 1975, which is probably the best non-hit song, one of the best non-hit songs, was Song for America.
Yeah.
Which was 10 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really, really good song.
Yeah. And that's what this album would debut the official Kansas logo that we know today.
Yeah. And they also had a song on there called Lamplight Symphony, which is about 8 minutes long, which that song is definitely worth a listen to. Mm. It's pretty much the story of an old guy that's looking back and he sees the grave of his wife and wishes, to join her or whatever.
Yeah.
And she comes and sees him in his dream or in his reveries, you might say.
Yeah.
And it's basically, it's a good song. And when you listen to the lyrics, you're gonna be touched. I mean, you really are.
It's a very it's touching song for anybody out there who's lost a loved one.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And then they got another one on there called Down the Road that's good. Lonely Street. Mm-hmm. The Devil Game.
Yep.
And then in Conundro, Hymn to the Atman. That
Mm.
song's 12 minutes long.
Damn. Interesting.
Good song.
Interesting there. And the
If
one
I,
that came after the same year was called Mask, Masque.
yeah, and this, like I said, their first three albums, even though they're not as well known, have some outstanding tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's got, I think this is the one with,
It takes.
Icarus, Born on the Wings of Steel.
Uh-huh.
That song is a great story.
All right.
And that's another mark of prog bands, that the songs tell a story.
Yep.
But it's basically about, if you've read any kind of Greek mythology, it's about the guy that was named Icarus,
Yes.
and he was trapped on an island or banished to an island, and essentially he fashioned wings for him and his son to get off the island.
Well, made of wax.
Yeah, well, and also they did have feathers in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
To fly off the
and
island. And I know the rest of the story. They were told not to fly too close to the sun, but unfortunately, one disobeyed, and next thing you know, boom, down they fall. And we know another
right,
well-known, respected heavy metal song with the same theme, Flight of Icarus by Iron Maiden.
yeah. And then you got Mysteries
Love
and
that song.
Mayhem on this album. That's good.
Hmm. And the Pinnacle, which is the closing track here.
Yeah, 9 minutes long.
Yep. Now keep in mind, this is probably one of the first prog. Was Kansas the first prog rock band to feature a violinist? Well, what am I talking
Oh, I'm
about?
pretty sure of that.
Well, because I'm
I
just
don't
reminded
know
now,
that.
because I remembered King Crimson back in around 73 debuted their violin player, David Cross, on the
Right.
Lark's Tongues for Aspect lineup there. And he would remain up to their first breakup in 74 there. And of course, the violin player, Robbie Enhart, I think that's his name was, if
Yeah,
I'm
Robbie
correct.
Einhart.
Yes, who so unfortunately passed away. Not too sure what year it was, but
It was within the last year.
oh wow, yeah. And he was also, I guess he also was a co-vocalist with the band a couple times there, because I remember there was the MTV Saturday Night Concert where they had not Steve Walsh but John Elephant
Yeah,
as their front man, and he was sharing vocals with the singer there on a couple of tracks there. And if you
yeah.
notice that the other one
Robbie
of the
was the co-vocalist.
yeah, absolutely. And also, let's not forget, when that change came about, which we'll discuss later on, Kenny Levine, if I remember his last name being pronounced,
Yeah,
Levine, he had to also share keyboards and guitar because Steve Walsh did most
was
of
the
the
keyboard
keyboards.
player.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And the next album was the big one.
yep,
1976,
Left
Left Overture.
Overture, yeah. And we know the first track from that album, like the back of our hands, Carry On Wayward Son. Still played on the radios to this day on classic rock stations all across the country.
Yeah,
And also includes that track you mentioned, Miracles Out of Nowhere.
right.
Yeah. And also, that's
The
the name.
Wall.
Yep, The Wall, not the Pink Floyd Wall, obviously. What's
Right.
on My Mind, Opus Insert, Questions on My Childhood, Cheyenne Anthem, and a Magnum Opus. And by the way, there was a documentary on the early years of Kansas up to about when they first made it big, detailing the whole situation there. It was called Miracles Out of Nowhere. I saw on the VH1 Classic there. And here's a little interesting story. They were opening for Aerosmith, and I guess Steven Tyler was getting rambunctious. He wanted them to leave the stage, I guess. But I guess what they did is they shut off the power so Kansas would be stopped playing, but they kept playing on, I guess, which enraged Steven Tyler even more. Remember, a lot of rock stars back then often do have big-ass egos.
Yeah, there's a couple notables in that respect.
Oh, yeah.
Steven Tyler's one of them. The
Yep.
Guns N' Roses guy's another.
Axl Rose.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And there were other prima donnas, but I can't think of them off the top of my head.
I know.
Brian, I do. Whenever we are done with this, we do need to dive into the news of David Lee Roth saying he's retiring. Did
Yeah, I
you
heard
get
about that.
news?
I heard about that as well. Well, obviously, I guess his time was done.
It's either that or he had some type of illness, or maybe it's some type of back problems. Or because if you read what he wrote, he's like he thought he would be the first to go before Eddie, and so it might be something like that. But if not, it could be it's for real. Because no band really does stop touring. Like everyone, you know what I'm saying, comes
That's true,
back
yeah.
and they say that,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Walsh left Journey because of, not Steve Walsh,
Steve Perry.
left Journey because of back problems.
Yeah.
And
They replaced him, and actually he didn't really leave. He actually had to step back from the band because he had hip surgery. I understand that he had issues with, and then
Well, everyone's
go ahead.
everyone's wanting this tribute, like this big Eddie Van Halen tribute, because it's Wednesday's the year anniversaries of his death.
Wow, that's interesting.
This Wednesday.
Wow.
So, why is David Lee Roth retiring? Why can't he do this? One last thing, maybe have Alex on there and drums, and maybe have maybe
Michael
like a John
Anthony.
Five,
Yeah.
John Five for the guitar, Steve obviously Michael Anthony for the bass.
Yeah.
Maybe like a John
Well,
Five, Steve Vai for the guitar, someone really, really,
Yeah.
well, you're going to see, if it hadn't already been done,
or
a
son.
tribute album with various artists.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Most
for
likely, yeah.
For Van Halen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll
absolutely.
be-
We see a whole
because
bunch
they've
of
done
them.
it for a lot of other bands, and I'm sure they'll do it for Eddie.
Absolutely, they will.
But anyway, go back to the list. My bad. I just wanted
It's
to
okay.
mention that before I
Oh, no
forget.
problem.
No problem at all.
Next
dude.
album is another big one, 1977, Point of No Return.
Oh yeah, that's the one with the ultra classic "Dust in the Wind" at the title
Oh,
cut
yeah.
there. Yes, "Dust in
If
the Wind."
anybody's ever heard of Kansas, they've definitely heard that song.
Absolutely, because that's one of the big ones right there. That was one of the big albums that they ever came out with. "Dust in the Wind" was probably played on the radio multiple times on almost every station, whether it's hard rock, soft rock, and
Yeah.
it was. I believe it was even featured on an episode of Highlander the series back in the '90s, if I remember.
And
Yes, I
something
did.
about Kansas, it's like they're the type that, like you said, would be on, because there are soft rock stations, and there is classic rock stations, and there
Yep.
is the mix radio, mix stations. There is, so
Right.
you hear Kansas on. I mean, I don't even like, what are the oldies play now? Are they playing 70s stuff, oldie stations at this
Well,
point?
I know.
80s is like 40 years old. That should be.
I know.
oldies
It's like
considered.
it's like she's like
It's really weird because you sit there and, for me, oldies is 50s and 60s.
Right.
yeah, I know. Same
That
here.
stuff never gets played anymore.
The Turtles, the Box Tops.
Yeah. Yeah, the stuff from the Stones, the Beatles, even the Monkees at a couple points there. But now we have moved so forward. Now it's Motley Crue are considered classic rock.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I still consider. I mean, what did you consider 80s stuff, like 80s rock in the 2000s? What did you consider? Because that was only 20 years ago from the 2000s. Now look at now; it's 40 years ago.
I know exactly,
Right?
man. Well, we all know they often call 80s rock, hair metal or 80s rock. Well, it's not just hair, but then again, it was, because
Like
back then it was
glam rock,
glam
or
metal,
arena rock,
glam rock,
arena
yeah.
rock,
Yeah, bands
Power
like
rock.
Faster,
Yeah.
yep, Faster Pussycat. That was glam rock. That was glam metal at its best.
Poison.
Poison. That absolutely. They were the big ones there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you also saw the rise of some of the, what do they call it, alternative rock or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. Alternative rock. Bands like White Zombie, which was considered alternative metal at that point.
Well, I was thinking more of things like Dexy's Midnight Runner. Let's see who else. Cyndi Lauper, things of that nature.
When it comes
You
to
know,
80s.
they were doing that in the 80s.
Yeah. And some of that stuff, well, that mostly stuff there usually nowadays gets played on, if they still do, they usually get played on the soft rock stuff time and now and then, you know. I remember there was a soft rock station would play either Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, along with some ditzy song by Sheryl Crow, and then probably would play something later on. But sadly, like everything else, things have changed. Playlists have moved on, you know. They don't play Jim Croce no more. They often play stuff like Imagine Dragons, some of the current stuff, you know.
Yeah. But back to Kansas.
Yep.
That album had Point of No Return, which was a big one.
Yep.
Paradox. And then the Spider. Then it did a song called Portrait He Knew, which is essentially the story of, as I gather, of Thomas Edison.
Oh, wow. Interesting there. I guess the guy considered the father of electricity. However, this was years before we thought about Nikola Tesla.
Sorry. Not Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein.
Oh, okay, there. I see there.
You know, because it says he knew.
Yep.
He knew more than me or you.
Yep, absolutely.
And then the next song is something called Closet Chronicles, which is actually a very good song.
All right.
And if you listen to it, I pick up that it's the story of who's the recluse from the 50s and 60s?
Howard Hughes? Yes.
Yeah.
The billionaire
essentially
recluse.
The story of him. Again, they tell stories.
I am, absolutely.
And then you had Lightning's Hand, which was good. Sparks of the Tempest. Nobody's Home, and Hopelessly Human. This band put out some great songs.
Yeah.
And they followed that up with Monoliths.
Yeah, an interesting
cover.
Yeah, the cover, if you notice there, which came out in 1979, it was basically a bunch of Native Americans wearing spacesuits with those little helmets, little glass helmets on there, like a spacesuit or something like that.
Right.
And it depicts the destruction of the modern world. The Gatefold album, you see the highways, dismantled, everything's destroyed here and there. I mean, you see a big close-up of the moon so close to the earth there. Yes. And it's kind of frightening when you look at it, because you wonder, are we going to be heading towards that period in the near future?
Have you ever seen the moon, Dr. Brown?
Not up close, far away from where we usually see it there, yes. It would be nice to see it up closer, but I have to be in a spaceship.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe with a telescope, I wouldn't want to be there.
That's true, yeah. But the thing, I don't think we have a telescope at our place, unfortunately.
Well, I know we plot a spot, and it's closer than y'all think that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really get to see the moon really good.
Yeah. Let me guess, NASA?
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Mission Control, brother.
Yeah. I am. It was kind of funny. We passed by the NASA space station on our way to Galveston for that vacation a couple years back there. Sometimes I like to go visit that space place sometime soon there to check out all the telescopes and everything else there. That's simply to let us in, because you know how heavily guarded that joint is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some good stuff on this album too. People of the Southwind.
Yeah, that was the first single from that album there. And I guess the way they did it was that they were performing the Monolith album in its entirety, along with their other songs there. Songs like Angels Have Fallen on the Other Side, How My Soul Cries Out for You, and of course Stay Out of Trouble, Reason to Be, the closing track there. There were a couple of videos made for this here, Reason to Be, and of course People of the Southwind as well. And I guess for the Reason to Be, it featured a man kind of like similar to the man on the front cover of that album, but instead of Native American with the glass bowl over his head there in the spacesuit, It kind of like had a I don't know what kind of design was. It's something in its place there, but it is kind of interesting to see. Now they decided to stop performing that album in its entirety when they realized people didn't really like the album that much there. So they just went back to their usual set list there, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's funny because in its own way, it's a good album,
Yeah, it
but it
is.
just didn't measure up to Leftoverture or Point
Or
of No Return.
I know, because I guess people were expecting another Dust in the Wind or another hit single from that album there, but it's hard to it's hard to reduplicate those kind of songs there. And if they were trying to do that, they would be the laughing stock. It would have been way over for them. And
And
with
they followed that up with
Audio
Audio
Visions,
Visions.
yes, and the song "Hold On" that was played a lot on rock radio around that year, 1980.
Yeah,
And this would be the last album to feature Steve Walsh as their frontman, the keyboardist. Apparently, what it was,
yeah,
I guess they were at a rehearsal, and I guess he came in and announced it that, I cannot do this no more, and that was it, from what I understand there. And they replaced
yeah.
him
They
with,
kind of changed their way a little bit.
yeah. And I guess Steve Walsh would later put together a band called Streets a couple years later. They released their first album titled First. I remember the hit song from that album was called If Love Should Go. That was played on the radio for a while there. They were later released a second record called Crimes in Mind, and then they disappeared. Of course,
Yeah,
a year later, Steve Walsh would rejoin Kansas for the album Power, which we would get to later on.
yeah, yeah. This album was kind of a departure from what they were doing,
Yeah,
but it was still in and of itself not a horrible album.
yeah, yeah, it was.
And then they followed it up with Vinyl Confessions, which was the first one with the new guy.
Yeah, John Elefante. Play the Game Tonight was a massive hit on MTV and on the radio. So they were
Yeah,
definitely back.
yeah, and they basically at this point didn't abandon prog, but it wasn't as big a deal for them as it was before.
They kind of mixed the prog roots and with the new stuff that they were coming up with there. It was a mix of both.
Yeah, they kind of dabbled in top 40, but didn't
Yeah.
at least didn't go all the way into it like Genesis did.
Yeah, absolutely there.
It's kind of like, well, let's get a single out and satisfy the record company.
Yep. Which
Is
which they did,
basically,
and basically which they did, because as we mentioned, Play the Game Tonight was a massive big hit on both radio and MTV.
yeah, and they followed that up with Drastic Measures,
Yeah, which which is kind of funny. It has kind of funny cover to it because first beforehand, Kansas was now a five-piece. Robbie Reinhardt, he decided to leave the group there, and this is when they decided to drastically change their sound
yeah,
with this album. In
Fight
fact,
Fire with Fire.
and the song, the follow-up song, "Everybody's My Friend," which is the follow-up single there, that was about John Elefante finding out how many friends he didn't know he had. People recognize him. Hey, I remember you from this. I remember you that. Like, really? I don't think we even met there. Those kind
Yeah,
of
it's
people.
funny when you get to certain stages in your life, like you either suddenly get rich or whatever,
Yep,
or you're suddenly famous.
yep,
All these people that you didn't know knew you, which they didn't,
absolutely.
suddenly
Tried
know you. They're your
hangers
best
on.
buddy.
Hangers on. That's what we call those people. They're trying to boost their ego by getting with this individual here, try to boost their esteem there, which doesn't always work. 'Cause,
Right.
yeah, how many? I remember the guy from Green Day talked about that one time. He's like, "No, you're not my friend. We never knew each other. Get over it."
The next album was Power.
Yes, and Kansas was pretty much done in between those. Well, not necessarily done. They just took a breather there. Kenny Irving decided who became a born again Christian, by the way. He released an album, I guess. I forgot it was called Lifetime or Lifeline there, which
Yeah,
apparently
wasn't he one pretty much during the early years of the band too?
Yes, he was. So from the start up till that this point there, and he
That's
was
what I
all.
thought.
Yeah, he was the man who, by the way, wrote "Dust in the Wind." Barely what it was a guitar finger picking practice for the guitar there, and his wife decided and said, "Hey, make that into a song."
Yeah.
Yep. And of course,
Then they
Power.
followed.
Hold on, son. By this time, it was basically they got Phil Ehart, their drummer, back, a new bass player, and I guess they got a new guitarist, Steve Morse.
Yeah.
You know,
And Steve Morris went on to do bigger and better things.
yeah, he's currently the guitarist for Deep Purple. And of course, Rich Williams, the guy who in the back of the day used to wear a tuxedo on stage in some of their promo videos, he was wearing basically regular clothing at this point and sporting an eye patch. I remember seeing that. It's like, holy cow, did something happen to him? Well, it turns out when he was a kid, he lost one of his eyes in a firecracker accident there. And throughout the earlier years, he had to wear a prosthetic eye. Turns out when Kansas came back in '86 with this album, he had decided to abandon the prosthetic eye and just wear an eye patch. And he still does that to this very day.
Yeah, I saw Kansas shortly after Walsh rejoined the group. I don't know how familiar you are with the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but we had a place that bands used to play called the Starplex.
I see.
Out near the State Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where they did the wrestling?
No, that was the Sportatorium.
Okay.
But that place used to feature band. I saw many a concert at that particular venue.
All right.
That's a bad part of town nowadays, right? Over there by the ferry.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't want to. No, you wouldn't want to be there. You know, it's where the old Cotton Bowl used to be too.
I see there. Yeah.
The Rolling Stones play there at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. And the Cotton Bowl featured some bands too. I never saw any at the Cotton Bowl, but at Starplex I saw Kansas, and I saw the Moody Blues twice.
Ah, nice.
And they had a concert right after 9/11 that a bunch of bands got together as a fundraiser. That must have been 15 or 20 of them. And they'd each come out and do 2 songs apiece or whatever. And they only did 2 of those shows from what I gathered, but we got one of them.
Wow. Interesting.
You know, it had groups like Grand Funk, REO Speedwagon, Blue Oyster Cult.
Yep.
I need to see the list one of these days because there was a ton of bands at that thing.
Wow.
And I enjoyed the heck out of that.
Kind of reminds me of that.
Even though that one of them would come out and play 2, 3 songs, they'd leave. Another one would come out and play 2, 3 songs, they'd leave. Another, it was a lot of that all night.
I see. Kind of like now. Was the band? Was it just the same equipment, same drum kit and stuff, and just the bands with their guitars and stuff, or was it kind of like
some
that?
Some of them would change out a little bit, but it wouldn't be anything long and involved. Like 45 minutes, like some of them used to take. But
because I remember during the first Live Aid back in 1985, while band was playing up there, the crew was setting up the equipment for the other band that was going to play right afterwards. It was like one band for another there.
Yeah, we used to have a lot of venues around this area.
Wow.
They used to have one that was, the old joke about bowling alleys.
Correct.
That was actually a pretty good venue. I saw Robin Trower there.
I remember. Yeah, you mentioned that there. Yes.
And of course, the American Airlines Arena, or whatever it's called, has had some killer concerts.
That's good.
Saw the Who there. Black Sabbath.
Nice.
2 or 3 other. Eric Clapton.
Nice.
Great venue. And then, of course, Fort Worth had a couple of them. So, but the one you mentioned earlier there, YR, was Sportatorium.
Yes.
And it was definitely not a venue for bands, but it's gone. It got torn down several years back. But one of these days, when we get into the history of wrestling, that place had some absolutely phenomenal people come through and wrestled here. I mean, the Dallas-Fort Worth was a hotbed for a long time. A lot of the big ones.
Wow.
But back to Kansas. Next album was In the Spirit of Things.
From 88. And an interesting cover there. I guess so I understand there was a lot of hauntings at the studio that they were recording in. A lot of spirits there, ghosts and the such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they actually followed that up 7 years later with Freaks of Nature.
Interesting cover for that one there.
Yeah.
And the track.
They were kind of doing a long time between albums here for a while.
Yeah.
And the next one was Always Never the Same.
From 1998.
Which is kind of a strange title.
Yeah. And I guess this was this a live album or a remake album? Because a lot of songs they remade Dust in the Wind, Song for America, Miracles Out of Nowhere, Hold On, Sky's Falling, and their version of Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah, I honestly don't. I think it is live, but I'm not sure.
Let me look it up.
It's been a long time since I heard that album.
Always Never the Same. Studio album by Kansas. It says it's going to look it up right now. It should be coming up here. If the Wi-Fi. Okay, it's a studio album. It's the 13th studio from them, and it's mostly covers of the band's previous work, re-recorded with the London Symphony Orchestra. New songs include In Your Eyes, The Sky's Falling, Need to Know, and of course their cover of Eleanor Rigby by the Carlos. He's calling right now, but I have to add him to the call there later on when he's done calling there, because you know how my Skype is.
Yeah. Next time was Somewhere to Elsewhere in 2000.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
They followed that with the Prelude Implicit in 2016.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's about 5 years in between there.
That's 16 years.
16 years. Wow. And 2000.
Who's trying to call you? Who's trying to call?
It was Carlos Cabral.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm going to add him right now. I'm going to add him as soon as he got, because every time I add somebody to the call, it puts you guys on hold, and that always pees me off.
You know how Minnesota is? I thought he was calling you, trying to ruin everything.
I'm done with him for the time being. I'm done with him.
Oh, for real?
Well, no, I'm mad at him. We discussed how much.
Did you see what he happened on? Did you see what he did this past weekend with Ken shit?
No, I have. Well, I know that. I think I saw some of that. I know. Mr.
I mean, not to dive too much. Like, basically, there was, a situation. Ken, there was like emergency situation type deal.
Yeah.
Like a family, stuff, personal stuff, and
yeah.
Nikki Nines and Dave Rose were trying to talk over it and cover the show, but then Minnesota was in the chat hey, everyone be quiet so we can hear. Bro, he was, there's levels to this, is what Nikki said. So Minnesota really crossed the line this past weekend. And
yeah, I see. I remember what saying. Minnesota was fuckface. I don't know if he was talking to Dave or mostly Nikki Nines, so I understand there. But I guess you know how Minnesota is. Yeah. I mean and we also I also mentioned last time how he basically does what he said. I'm unsubbed to your channel. I won't be doing shows with you no more. Blah 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 and all that bullshit there. So said I'm just gonna let it go for the time being. Let him do his thing there. But it's gonna be replays of various clips from this show, that show. Give me a break.
Yeah, I don't know. I try to stay out of a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, but
no, we can move on. I was just saying his name came up. It's all right. Let's move on.
There.
I was just,
Yeah, no, that's okay. And then the last album they did was in 2020.
Oh yeah. During the pandemic, I guess it was called The Absence of Presence.
Hey guys, how you been?
Carlos Cabral, how's
Carlos,
it going?
Brother.
How you doing there? What's up, dude?
I'm doing great, man. I had to take care of grocery shopping, but I'm here now.
I understand now. How you doing, man? Everything going good,
I'm doing great. Just I did a live helping somebody out with a news report
All right.
on my channel.
Nice.
And then I did some grocery shopping and busy with work, but I'm here. I definitely want to talk about this hot topic, Dog the Bounty Hunter catching the
Looking.
victim's fiance.
Yeah, we own. Yeah, Brian Laundrie.
Okay,
What?
we'll get out of that in a little bit. Let's finish up with Kansas real quick.
All right, Darren. Because
You
we're near
got
the
it.
end.
And which actually we can't technically have. We just mentioned their last album.
Yep.
They did have some live. Two for the Show
Yep.
is an excellent live album.
Absolutely. And he did another live album with From the Whiskey a Go Go. I guess it
Right.
was in the 90s there. And of course, the Kansas lineup now is kind of different because, Steve Walsh and Bobby Reinhardt is Robbie Reinhardt is no longer with us there. So I guess it's a whole new lineup. I guess you could say there with some of
Pretty
the original,
much,
which kind of
I don't
bummed.
know if they have any originals.
I don't know. I got to find out the current lineup and members with the compare them to the old to the new there to find out for sure there.
Well, hang on a minute. I'll look up the absence of presence, see who's in the band at that point.
All right there.
Bonnie Platt, new guy. Rich Williams, he's
Still there. The man I mentioned with the eye patch and the tuxedo.
Then Zach Brazell, who I'm not familiar with. Tom Brislin,
Tom Grislin.
David Ragsdale,
David Dragsdale.
Billy Greer,
Never heard
and
of him.
Phil Ehart. So
Phil, the
basically,
drummer.
it's Ehart and Williams.
Oh, wow. That's interesting there. It was two original members with a whole new lineup there. And what the heck is going on, dude? Carlos, what's going on, dude?
Somebody's eating.
Doing great. Doing great.
What's that noise? Is that you?
Somebody's eating their mic.
Oh, sorry. Let
It's
me mute
okay.
my mic, gentlemen. Sorry.
It's okay, dude.
Oh, we're almost done anyway. That pretty much covers Kansas. But I will suggest if you want to get a great live album, Two for the Show is definitely worth listening to.
Oh, yeah. It's from 1980
they
as
played
well.
through a lot of their big stuff from their first 5 albums.
All right. Right there. Okay. There you are, Carlos. So, you want to talk about Dog the Bounty Hunter going after Brian Laundrie, right?
That
Yeah, because I know you've been interested on that topic. It was announced, of course, a couple weeks back that Dwayne Dog Chapman, TV's Dog the Bounty Hunter, was announced that he was going to lend his services to catching Brian Laundrie, the fiancé of the late Gabby Petito.
Pruto.
Gabby Petito.
And
Yeah.
I was surprised that he wanted to do that, but he's giving a helping hand. And I've been following Dog the Bounty Hunter, and he catch a lot of criminals
Yeah.
during his career.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised because he said he retired.
No, he's still doing it, man.
And okay.
He's
And,
not as
I'm-
active as he was, after he lost his wife.
Yeah, but he's still active in catching criminals there.
Yeah.
Now he was Now I just hope I'm going to say is I hope possibly that there's no issues that Dog had when he was looking for that Andrew Luster guy, that rapist who was hiding out in Mexico, because we all know the situation that happened there.
That's true.
Yes, because Chapman had to go to a Mexican prison for a while there, and I guess if I'm correct, he had to do prison time here in the States because of the laws in Mexico. Basically they don't approve of bounty hunters in that country there, and I guess what he did was kind of like a bad thing there, if I understand.
That's true.
And according to Newsweek, there this search for Brian Laundrie is becoming more dangerous here. Now, he's also turned up some evidence to authorities, according to the New York Post there. I'm going to click on Newsweek to see what's going on here on this post here. Now, Chapman has said that the search for Brian Laundrie is becoming more and more dangerous. Now, he's on the hunt, as we know, for Brian Laundrie. He went missing after returning home from a trip with his Gabby Petito, whose remains are found in Wyoming last month. Now, Chapman has a high-profile search for the 24-year-old in Florida, where he was last seen.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right. Chapman and his team are being aided by law enforcement, a K-9 unit, and thousands of tips from the members of the public. They are continuing to search islands near the fort. This little thing pops up, this son of a bitch. And I want to close this son of a bitch too. I got to get me that ad block bullshit there. They are continuing to search islands near Fort DeSoto Park in Pinellas County, Florida. However, despite finding a campsite and possible evidence of his presence, the search remains for Laundrie. Now, law enforcement officials have been searching for Laundrie since his family reported him missing in September 17th. Now, a spokesman for Chapman Seed said, quote, "Tracking the fugitive is a marathon, not a sprint." That's true there. It's a God knows how long it may take to find this sumbitch. We are continuing our search for him. The longer he is on the run, the more dangerous this becomes, which is true. Now, Chapman's team has confirmed that they are now accessing evidence and evaluating next steps. Dog and his team appreciate the thousands of tips pouring in on the tip line and urging people to keep reporting tips to the FBI as well as his tip line, according to the spokesman. Now, the team also confirmed this past Sunday that evidence has been handed over to the authorities with the hope that DNA testing proves Laundrie's presence in that particular area. Now, the spokesman also included by saying Dog has turned over evidence to the authorities, including items found on one of the islands near Fort DeSoto Park. It is hoped that his DNA can be accessed to prove Laundrie's presence there. Now, in addition, he has multiple conversations with law enforcement. Now, Chapman has also offered money towards the reward of any information leading to Laundrie's arrest, bringing it up to total sum of $180,000. Wow. And on this past Thursday,
Wow.
yeah, Chapman's spokesman, the spokesman for the bounty hunter, told Newsweek that he does not care who brings in Laundrie in, just as long as he is apprehended. Meanwhile, a man in Florida claims he spoke with Laundrie in North Carolina in this past Saturday. And now I'm going to give out this number here when the Carlos is done. Chapman has an anonymous tip line called 833.
Was that Chips?
Yeah, I was going to say, who's scoffing on Chips, dude?
Let me get. Hey guys, can you keep it down? I'm in a conference call. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So now Chapman has a tip line at 833 tell dog, TELLDOG.
Tell Dog.
Yes. Okay. And anyone who else with information with his whereabouts is to contact the FBI at 800 call FBI. And there you go. We should probably when we're done, we'll probably post these two numbers here if they allow us to there.
I've been following the Brian Laundrie situation, and when they covered the news, I like the last scene he was seen is Pinellas County. I live close to Pinellas County because I live in New Tampa. Pinellas County is not that far.
I see there. And basically, it's well, what kind of this is in Florida, if I'm correct, right?
Correct.
All right, there. Wow, something like that. I was like, we've seen this happen before with a couple other social media stars. There, we remember there was this influencer. They used to do her stuff on Instagram here in Texas. That she was found murdered. I guess she wanted to also confront an ex-boyfriend on something there, and then she went missing, and she was found dead. And let's see what we got on this. I guess we got something in the chat here.
So many missing people in Florida, bro.
Oh wow,
that's crazy.
All right there.
Well, I guess you got the Gators down there to kind of
Wait a
help
minute, wait a
clean
minute.
things up.
YR. Hold on a second there. YR, join the call. YR, join the call, dude. For what I understand, he just messaged me saying that Bullfrog is talking shit about me on the YR's channel. Oh gosh.
What is it with it? And never mind.
Never mind. Well, we'll get into all that after Ark leaves. Because out of respect, because I know Ark doesn't want to deal with that idiot.
I want to have absolutely nothing to do with that clown.
None of us, none of us do. I guess he's probably peed off over the stuff I mentioned about him on Sean's View last night. All right there.
If you ever want to write a book on how to lose friends and alienate people, he'd be the guy to
Absolutely.
write it.
All right there. Absolutely. Okay. Let me see if I can pop up see what kind of bullshit I guess YR's supposed to do with his channel. I guess he got called in to do a drama show, from what I understand there. I'm gonna look it up there. But either way, Dog the Bounty Hunter is still searching for Brian Laundrie, because he is a suspect in her death there. He's still, Brian Laundrie's still missing. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the long run there. Let's see here. Give us a few moments, folks. Here, Do I have program? There we go. They're talking NFL community Q&A. And let's see what we got here. Should be coming up in a second there. I hate it when this takes too damn long here. I'm at my nephew's place here, so I'm thinking possibly the Wi-Fi ain't all that up to par, I guess. Unlike back home where it's just boom and it just pops up right then and there.
Yeah.
All right there.
I'm getting sick of this bullshit.
Well, Bullfrog, you're on here and you have your
Yo,
own
Brown.
Yes, I'm here. There you are. Yeah, I got your message.
Hop on that other group because Bullfrog's having a tantrum saying, keep the music on your, he's having all this shit because I added you in that other group.
Okay there.
Alright.
Carlos, you coming along, dude?
So now
Bullfrog-
he's going to tell
Bullfrog doesn't
everybody
Dude,
how to run their channel.
Yeah, we can't have.
I don't want
Carlos and
Bullfrog to have
yeah.
a temper tantrum or a heart
Exactly.
attack.
Just only Dr. Earl, come over real quick for a couple minutes, Earl, please.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
So
go ahead
what
and
I'm
do
gonna
that,
do,
and I'll-
YR, is
I'll
I'm gonna
cut
hang
out.
up this call and you have my Skype. Just call me when you're ready.
All right there. All right
And I'm
then.
going to
Alright,
leave
Doc.
too because I want nothing to do with Bullfrog.
I understand. I understand well. I understand, dude. All right. What band will we covering on this coming Thursday?
Rush.
Rush. We would definitely look at the career and the life, many decades span of the band Rush there. Definitely check it out at the same time there. Okay. You have a good one, Ark.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
All right.
Nice to talk to you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Now, I'm going to get on this bullshit to see what the fuck is going on here. Okay. What's going on
It's a
here?
guarantee.
Ooh.
So
Well, I like it rough, so.
I can promise this. Saturday, this Saturday, guys, you are going to be in for a treat when
The foul-mouthed Ken makes his way to Boston,
Yo, what's up?
Massachusetts.
What's up? Okay, so Bullfrog and we have Dr. Brown here. So Bullfrog, tell Dr. Brown, your grievances so we can work things out, please.
Yeah. What's the issue, Bullfrog? I heard that you were talking smack about me.
Yeah, dude, you got your own fucking channel for that bullshit. Don't you got your own fucking platform?
Yes, I do. What's wrong with that?
So do your music shit there.
We just did.
No, you did on YR's channel.
What about it?
Well, dude, we're here to do drama, not some fucking music show.
So what are you talking about? This is a drama channel. We just got done doing the music show. What are you speaking of? Makes sense.
Dude, don't talk down to me like I'm fucking stupid.
Well, you are
I
stupid.
I tried to make sense of it, Mr.
You
Earl,
can't make
and I
you
can't
can't
figure
you
it out.
cannot make sense with this bonehead.
Well, dude, if you want to talk music, all that shit, do it on your fucking platform.
So what do you want me to do? Just stay in my own lane and not go anywhere else?
Well, we're here to talk drama.
Well, I'm here to talk drama too, and I'm here to talk about drama, whichever drama you have with me.
Well, I'm over here waiting 2 fucking hours and all I'm hearing is fucking music bullshit.
So what about the music? You're not making sense, Bullfrog.
Brown, you don't have to cup your hand. We can hear you.
I don't know. I know, but still, I want to know what the fuck Bullfrog's issue is. Instead
Well,
of give me this lame ass shit that you're giving me about.
I ain't giving fucking lame ass shit. I'm speaking fucking facts. I'm tired of you taking advantage of YR and fucking.
I'm not. What are you talking about? Taking advantage of YR?
I love doing the music shows. That was my
He
idea.
does. Yes,
Have King
yes.
Brown with me.
He asked. Yeah, YR asked to be a part of our show.
No, I'm saying the idea of the music show. Remember, originally I came to you with it, Brown?
Yes, last year,
It
Metal
started the whole
Maniacs.
thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
That'd be like me letting you clowns on my fucking channel when mine's a fucking wrestling channel. You get what I'm saying?
So in other words, you're mad at me because you think I'm stealing YR from you?
No, I could, dude. You're not stealing YR. For one. I'm saying you have your own platform for that bullshit.
You don't like the music shows, Bullfrog? You don't learn anything? You don't like music?
If I want to hear music, I will go to Dr. Earl's channel.
Well, you should have been on earlier on. So what are you trying to say? Because you're still not making. Yeah, but you're still not making sense, bro.
Well, I'm not going to repeat myself, so I.
Well, maybe we're going to have to, man. Because the way you're speaking right now is a load of bullshit. So anything you got to say, Bullfrog? Or is that it?
No, that's pretty much it. I've already said
So you want me, in other words, just stop. Basically, you want me to do my show on my channel with me.
And then the Carlos situation.
Yeah, we
do. Remember?
Yeah.
Carlos thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over here stalking me. That's one of the reasons why Prince.
Oh, come on. Bullfrog, you've been known to stalk. Yeah, yes.
It's true.
No.
It's true. That's why he had a block. That's why Prince had a block his weird ass.
No. Prince, no. I don't buy it. I don't buy what you're telling me, Bullfrog, you idiot. I don't buy that. You're the one that's saying everyone's harassing you, stalking to you.
Language, Dr. Earl, language.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why Prince had to block his creepy ass.
What?
Keep him blocked. Good.
So.
Bullfrog dumb.
Yeah, thank you. Finally, some fucking backup here.
Yeah, well, he needs to not to present himself as dumb.
Jacob RP, how you doing this evening?
Sup, YR? How you doing?
I mean, we only had to wait 3 fucking hours.
I might have some good news for you guys and for the community.
We'll ease into it, but now we had this big thing with Earl and
Bullfrog. Earl, I've already laid down the law. He already knows the deal.
All right, so which is basically
do your own shit.
I've been doing on my own shit.
Wow, Dr. Earl. Do your own shit, man.
That's what I've been doing.
I feel like you're copying YR with that music stuff.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. We started this last year, as mentioned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last year during the pandemic. Look up
Who's
Metal
the guy
Mania.
Yeah, like
who's
that. Well, wait, it was kind of before. It was before. I think it was like. 'Cause remember, I used to bring Scott on and all that bullshit too. So it
Yeah,
was like 2 years ago, and I was on the PS4 stream,
yeah.
and I came to Earl with the idea. I'm like, hey, let's do a show where we talk about music, and we did a good run for there, and then I messed up, and Earl didn't talk to me for a while. And he had every right to, probably some Scott bullshit or
Yeah,
whatever.
and up to
And
things are
you
worked
know,
out, and
yes,
I invited YR to join me in Arknolia for our show there, and excuse me, and we of course I contributed a few things here and there, and which is pretty good.
Dr. Earl, how would you rate YR's knowledge on music?
Well, I would wait. Well, one of the reasons why I guess
me and Earl know the most in this community. I'm a close second, but Earl's number one in music knowledge.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of
no one can argue that.
Dave Rose has said that. Mars Mira has said that. Everyone said I basically owned Metal Maniacs according to Mars.
Well, I mean, Dave is a piece of shit, so I mean, who believes him? I mean, come on. But no, yeah, I've seen you do your music shows. I've tuned in sometimes, but it's easy for me to get distracted because I'm more of a hip hop, R&B type guy.
That's understandable.
Yeah, but I still saw you with the Metallica shirt once.
Yeah.
See, YR has like always mentioned rock and roll and Metallica to me because one day I wore a Metallica shirt.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I became a fucking rock and roll genius.
Yeah, but then again, that's the trend nowadays. Everybody's all these mainstream people who don't listen to either the Ramones or Metallica are now seen wearing Metallica T-shirts. Like, for instance, Kendall Jenner wearing the Slayer T-shirt. Does she listen to Slayer? We do not know. Most likely she don't.
Are you guys still fighting?
No.
Maybe she's got some Slayer pussy.
All right, you done?
Hey, she needs it.
I gotta tell you, and RP's gonna not like this, but that's why I'm saying it. But bro, I gotta tell you, over the last fucking half an hour, I found out some of the fucking most nonsensical things about Schlong's View that I've ever heard.
Really?
And it needs to be said. Yes.
You know, you went live last night, like at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
we covered it this morning.
Covered
nice
that.
guy.
Sorry.
Real nice. Now, Sean's View went live a half an hour ago, and he only went live for 10 minutes. Do you know why?
All right.
Because he didn't have the viewership that he liked. And I sent, I took a picture of it. And I'm going to send it to Wire. I sent it to you already.
Show it on the thing. I don't.
Well, I've done that sometimes. Like, what's the point of talking to yourself?
No, bro, it's not about that. He had 13 people. So this is the screenshot right here. It's not about that, RP. When you're running a channel, right, bro? I mean, you have to have some sort of etiquette. Even if there's 13 people and you're 10 minutes into a stream, that's what happens when you start a stream up. You don't get fucking 40, 50, 60 people in the room at once.
Yeah, trust me, I know. Yeah, I know.
And he went live an hour before that. So he just had people in there. That's why when you go live multiple times a day, it's always not the best, right? So he goes live 10 minutes, and he goes, we got to get this viewership up. Goes to a commercial, fucking thing shuts off.
Wow.
Okay, now he's just being a dick.
Then it says video is unavailable. So what happened to the 15 or 13 people or 10 people, whoever it was, that was in that room waiting, watching you? You do not give a fuck. You do not give a flying fuck,
dumb.
Sean's View.
This was the
dumb. This was the thing right here. This was it right. So it goes video unavailable. You see the streaming on the side. It says started streaming 8 minutes ago.
Damn.
So that means that stream was only 8 minutes, bro. And
Damn.
and then he shuts it off and he leaves. And you know what, bro? This is his shtick. You know what? I went back into a video. And he's saying the exact same things he said a year ago to the date. The same shit. I'm trying to build my channel up. I had a rough year. I took a year off. He's been saying the same thing.
He said that last night when I called in. The same reason.
But he's been saying that for a year. We're going to play this clip, and then we're going to get to fucking Joe Fuckface and go over some things of that. But just listen to this. We're going to play two things. All right, But just listen to this.
Put that right now.
No, wait a minute. All right, wait. I got a better idea. All right, I won't delete my channel. What I'll have is, because Heel DJ has busted his ass way more than I have on YouTube, apparently. I'll just have you take over my channel. I'll give you my password and my phone number, and I'll just let you take over my channel.
Wow.
Hold on. I pressed the button. My bad. You know, and you fucking press the wrong button, God forbid, on fucking YouTube with these fucking ads and shit. I got a Google ad that's 30 seconds and I can't play nothing because it's fucking Jesus Christ.
I know.
Yeah,
I got
but that's
tired
not
of
my
that.
type of, but that's not my
Yeah.
type of content that I do, though.
Yeah. Well, you do talk about wrestling on occasions.
On occasion, yeah, but I don't really watch it as much as you do anymore. And that's not an insult. I'm just saying I don't watch it a lot anymore. I can't handle the product anymore.
And you know what? I love the fact that you just said that. And this is nothing against you, because WWE's demographic. I know this might come as a surprise to you because I look at this shit all the time. WWE is an important demographic, even though you see a lot of kids in the audience. You want to know what the demographic really is? 18 to 35 years old.
You're wrong.
That's what the demographic is.
You're wrong.
I
The average age of a WWE viewer is 52 years old.
What?
I'm just
Really?
I don't know what else to say.
The
But
fuck?
okay, again, here is
Damn.
my another issue that I have. You say the link didn't work.
Well, wait a minute. I gotta bring something to someone's attention. I see in the comment section that I'm supposedly giving Crystal's kids Xanax. I want proof
What
and evidence. I want blood work. I want blood work of that right now. Blood work. Cops called. I want CNN called. I want it all called that I give her kids Xanax right now.
I don't think Bloodwork's gonna bring that up.
No, are you kidding me? A piss test? Believe me, I am on Xanax prescribed. A piss test and blood work can show if someone's on Xanax. I want that proven in the court of motherfucking law. And whoever said that in the comment section, if they don't leave this room,
Well, see that? He just admitted
Wait.
to half of the fucking lie right there.
What does Xanax do to you? Slow you down or speed you up?
It
Slow you
depends.
down. Slow you down.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no wonder
Must
he's
be-
on it. Even his doctor thinks he should fucking slow down.
Yeah, it slows down
I'm
your
thinking
fucking
that the thing-
your
I think
pulse,
it-
a lot of kids in the audience.
everything.
You wanna
I
know what the
I'm thinking that's probably the reason why he talks so damn fast like he does.
They don't leave this room.
Probably.
I will leave
Him
this
on
room
Adderall?
right now because I will not stand for that kind of bullshit.
All right, hang on, Sean.
Listen, people, calm down, please. Okay.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Jessica.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No disrespect, Sean, but your channel's huge.
Yeah.
What?
But
Who's
I'm
that?
just wondering.
Sean's view wishes he just heard that. Just any girl say he's huge. No matter what. No matter his channel, no matter his fucking whatever. He just wants to hear Sean huge. That's all he cares about. Well, thank you. He obviously doesn't know how to interact with women. He obviously can't hold a conversation with a girl. When we had the beautiful Lauren that was on Sean's Hughes platform that I handled duties and had a 10-minute conversation with live for the first time
Yeah, I
without
remember
making it feel cringy, without making it feel awkward, without making her feel like she's the only woman on a platform full of crazy fucking guys. Like, I made everything smooth and you can go listen to it. And it's a nice kind of cool little fucking piece. And that's called being a professional. Sean, you can't do that. You can't walk in my shoes, bro. Not even the least bit. Not even the least bit, bro.
Jacob, I gotta let you go, bro.
Why?
Dave Rose in the chat says, "Hey, why you have Macizo, Lico, Jacob on the call?" So I'm not trying to,
Plus, they're talking about Sean's view anyway. But I mean, RP is good at certain points at that late night.
Wait.
slot.
Why does Jacob got to lead the call?
Yeah, when was that a rule?
I mean,
Oh, you don't know about the community rule book?
No, I don't.
Oh. Well, actually, let me just pull it up, bro. Hold on 1 second.
Jacob's not doing nothing wrong.
And who's Lauren? Can we get her back?
First time I've heard of her.
Chapter 16, page 3.1, chapter 16, does say any illegals, mesticios on the call on the YR program in the month of October around the time of 8 p.m. Monday through Friday if Dave Rose is, in fact, in the chat or anywhere near the YR program, even if he mentions
Bullfrog,
it,
leave the call so I can add Dave Rose in.
you can't.
Why does Bullfrog have to leave?
Are y'all on?
Dude, I'm not tolerating this shit, dude.
What's YR? What's happening? What the fuck, dude?
He's
I'm not
letting
trying to
Dave
upset
Rose
anyone.
control his
No,
fucking
I'm not
channel.
trying to upset anyone. That's all.
Oh, you sound like a bitch.
The one that talks all the shit.
Dave Rose scares you? Come on. Let the guy on the call. Let me add him. Let me add him.
This should be good.
First of all, I'm not
Bullfrog,
illegal. First of all, I'm not
Bullfrog's
illegal.
gone.
I was born in New York, by the way. I was born in fucking New York, so I'm not even illegal. The fuck? I have a high school diploma from the United States of America. What the fuck is he talking about?
It could still be illegal and get
It's
a
very
diploma.
racist. Very racist how he sounds sometimes.
But do you think illegals don't go to school when they're adolescents?
Very racist, Dave Rose is. But I mean, he is the same guy that called a black guy the N-word to his face.
Bullfrog is off the call.
Live on
Dave
stream.
Dave Rose is invited on.
Dave Rose once on Joe's live stream called a black person the N-word to his face with the ER too, with the ER at the end. Dave Rose is very racist. Let's confirm that, please. And the guy looks like fucking. Let's not even go there with Dave Rose. Come on.
Yo,
once
RP,
you
RP,
look at
RP, you kicked Tony from the call?
No,
Yeah,
Tony
he did.
left. No,
Yo.
Tony left.
No, it
Earl,
said
you
it-
saw RP kick him out?
Dr. Earl,
Yeah,
why
it
you
said right there.
snitching? Why are you
I'm not-
snitching? Why is
Well-
Dr. Earl snitching? What the?
Well, why did you say that you kicked him? And now he has removed me. Son of a bitch.
So what is? I thought he was coming on to the show. Like, what's going on?
I don't know, but guess who kicked me out? Jacob RP. Like he kicked out Tony, I guess he kicked you out too, Frog.
I didn't kick Bullfrog out, Dr. Earl. I kicked you out because you're annoying. You shouldn't be here.
Well, you're annoying just as well. Son of a bitch. I've been removed from the call once again. Well, whatever. I'm done. Everybody have a good one. We'll see you all Thursday. Bye-bye.